gentlemen, if you're looking for a unique, personalized video for yourself as a gift for a special occasion or even your business, then check out the many characters and video styles from the Old Felt No Filter Gang. Let's meet the team now.
Why, hello there. I'm Nimrod the Frog.
Ooh, Oliver Dog here, ready for fun. Australian.
Yowie.
Monsters! Hello! Richard Fromage in the fridge here!
Break some news with me, Alex Fisher.
And darlings, as you all know, I'm international drag queen celebrity Queen Miss Left Titter.
Yo! Jock here!
Oh, hello, Petals. I'm therefore here checking in for duty. Oh.
And I'm game show host Larry Lips, ready to play!
And I'm Brittany from the trailer park.
So, what's stopping you? Hit that book now button and get your very own personalized video made today! Ladies and gentlemen, if you're looking for a unique, personalized video for yourself as a gift for a special occasion or even Gentlemen, if you're looking for a unique, personalized video for yourself as a gift for a special occasion or even your business, then check out the many characters and videos.
Alright. How you guys doing tonight? Welcome to my channel. My name is Laura, aka PURPLEXEDQT. Gotta love an ad break, exactly. And if you're new to my channel, make sure you hit that subscribe button. Alright. If you're not new to my channel, welcome back. We got a lot more shows to do. So first let me say, I got a couple things to say. One, welcome everyone. Welcome my mods, my Patreons, old Patreons, new Patreons, former lurkers, future lurkers, and everybody in between. And of course my subs and my amazing mods. All right. So I got a couple things to say before we get into the case. First thing I'm going to say is, so somebody showed me something earlier. Hey, Ben. Hold on. Hold on, I had to send a link to someone. Okay. So, all right. So somebody sent me something before, and this first I want to talk about the two boys from Cali, which, in my opinion, was the biggest crock of bullshit I ever heard in my entire life, and I can't even believe anybody's falling for it. So I'm going to read to you what I wrote. Now, not read to you what I wrote, read to you what I found, what somebody showed me. First, let me start by saying AV Watchman has done an amazing job of keeping us informed of stuff that we wouldn't have known. He has done an amazing job of, showing us the area and being there, and he's put a lot of time into it. So absolutely not taking anything away from him at all. He really has done a fantastic job. Fantastic. But here's the catch. He really hasn't, discovered anything. And the reason why I'm even saying that plays a part. It really plays a part in what I'm going to say next. So, like I said, he's done an amazing job keeping it in the public eye that we wouldn't have known stuff without him. But I don't think he actually discovered anything the FBI or the cops hadn't. But all that's going to play a reason in a minute. So this afternoon, this was shown to me. Hold on, let me pull it up. Okay. It says, somebody wrote him, I guess, and he reposted it. And it said, "Dear friend, please take this message as a sign of love and a sign from above. Please stop digging into the case. You've gotten closer than anyone to finding out what happened to these babies. The AP both know it has been spoken about around me. I will not repeat what has been said by me, but I can do better. I recorded them. I'm scared for you. This is so much bigger than anyone thinks, leading all the way towards the state capitol. I seen your update about this case is leading you 450 miles away, so I'm guessing that's where you are going. Please be careful. We need to meet soon for the recording somewhere public." Okay. First of all, I find him a pest and stepping over the line. Okay. Oh, I thought you, were total opposite of me. All right. So, here's my thing. That is the biggest bunch of bullshit I ever heard. The state capitol is not involved in finding, these two kids. There's not some big conspiracy. It is the biggest crock of shit I've ever heard in my life. And the fact that he is falling for it is very disheartening. Very disheartening. Because in my opinion, and in my professional opinion, this adopted parents killed them. Plain and simple. There's nothing more to it. They killed them, or maybe they're human trafficked, whatever the situation. Whatever the situation. You might be right there. They could be human trafficked. They could have been killed, but either way, they were not in the new house, period. My question is, where are the kids, the other kids? Here's what I was thinking. Are the other 4 kids so scared that the news and the media aren't talking for a specific reason? In my mind, that's how I see it. That the cops and the cops and the media don't want so much out there because these 4 kids that hold the key to saying more are so fucking scared that they're trying to them not to be scared. Then you have all these armchair detectives who are actually physically going out there that may ruin this. There may be, and I'm not saying I'm right, but it's very possible, there may be a reason why the cops are not talking. There might be a really good fucking reason why they didn't interview the neighbors. Now, my theory is because they already knew that the kids weren't there. They've already gotten that far. They knew the boys never left Bakersfield. So while everybody's got their tail between their legs interviewing all these neighbors, the cops were doing the right thing over at the real fucking place, which is Bakersfield. Hey, NYC. So I'm not saying that what he hasn't done has been good, but you have to give a little faith to the cops. You have to give a little faith that the FBI knows what the fuck they're doing. And they know what to look for. And there is a reason why the media is quiet. And I said this a couple of days ago, but seeing this letter absolutely confirmed what I felt. Is that the FBI, maybe the cops have no idea what they're doing. All right, maybe the cops are the biggest fucking morons out there. But the FBI, you gotta have faith in. You just do. If we lose faith in the FBI and the police, where are we left? We're fucked. Completely, totally fucked. You gotta have faith in somebody besides God. So, I really think that when I saw a letter like this, I thought it was the stupidest thing I ever heard. I would bet all the money that I have, which isn't much, but I would bet all the money that I have that this is bullshit and that the cops are not in some, state capitol is not involved in some conspiracy with the kids. There's not some underlying big mecca. No, sorry, not sorry. So, I just want to put that out there, that I'm sorry for anybody that believes in just knocking on people's doors and stuff. It was good for a minute. I still haven't watched anything other than the initial because I'm just not buying any of it. You know, he's not discovering anything. He's not doing anything. He's just out there, and he did a great job of showing us stuff that we wouldn't have known, but you got to take a step back and think there's a reason why this is in public. And it's not some big conspiracy theory. It's not some big thing that they're part of Pizzagate, which is the fucking dumbest thing I ever heard. And I did hear that yesterday, that you just have to have a little faith in the FBI. Just a little. Even if the cops suck. You just got to have a little faith in the FBI. And like I said, we're days later. The FBI probably knew they never left Bakersfield days and days and days and 2 weeks ago. And that's why nobody took the video from the neighbors. It wasn't a big shock. If they knew the kids weren't there, they didn't need to take video from the neighbors. Plain and simple. I would like to think that as much as the system has failed certain people, I would like to think that the FBI just kind of knows what they're doing and they're one step ahead of internet. Just saying. You gotta have faith. You just do. I mean, if people can believe in God, they have to believe in fucking the FBI. Hey, Lady D, they have to be able to believe in the FBI. Sorry, not sorry. So, I just wanted to put that out there. Because I really think this was the stupidest thing this email thing was the stupidest thing I ever saw. The conspiracy, right? Exactly. This is not Pizzagate. This is not some fucking conspiracy. This is not the Democrats. This is not part of Trump. This is not some fucking... I mean, could it be trafficking? Absolutely it could. It definitely could. I'm not saying it's not. Because I don't know if it is or it's not. I just know it's not anything bigger than, anyone like to believe, and it leads all the way to state capitol, and this one's involved and that one's involved. Yeah, just sit the fuck down. So, that's that. You comparing God with the FBI, yes. But I don't believe in God, Johnny. I was just saying, what I'm saying is that if you have to believe in something, I have to believe that the FBI knows what they're doing. So if people can believe in an imaginary ghost that they call God, then you have to believe that the FBI is doing something. That they know what the fuck they're doing. And they're way far ahead than any of us. You gotta have that kind of faith. You just do. I have not heard a skull was found, no. I did hear about the ones in Mexico, though. That turned out not to be them. That part I heard. Alright. So that's what I wanted to say about this case. About the two boys. It wasn't my main focus of tonight, but it is what I wanted to talk about when it came to that. Because it really bothered me. I was like, I can't even believe people like falling for this. What I believe, there's no sorry. Why would I believe in some imaginary? I'd rather believe in tangible. What I can tell you, though, is, and I really mean this, I personally believe the boys are dead. How, who, what, when, where, why, or how, I don't know. Could they have been, hey, Red Rum, could they have been human trafficked? They could. I mean, anything's possible. But in my heart of hearts, I believe they're dead. And I hate to say that, but that's what I believe. I'll find a video and send to you in Discord. Okay. So that's what I want to say about that. And unfortunately, I do believe they are dead. And that's really sad. They're two little boys, 3 and 4, and never even had a chance to live before their life was taken away. And even if they were trafficked, even if that's the case, it's the same scenario. The absolute same scenario. That it's absolutely a shame because they're two innocent boys that never got a chance to live. So hopefully they are alive. I don't think they are in my heart of hearts. my gut feeling, my instincts, whatever you want to call it, my psychic abilities. Either way, I don't think they're alive, and that's sad but true. So, moving on. I finally finished, let's move on to Ryan. I finally finished the book. And now I'm even more torn than ever. So now that I don't know if I'm innocent or guilty, I'm going to tell you guys what I think. I don't know. In my heart of hearts, I thought for sure he was guilty. Then I thought, nah, he's definitely innocent. Then I thought, he's guilty. He must have committed the crime somewhere else. Then I went back to, maybe it was, like they said in the second trial, maybe he killed her in the toilet, which also made sense. Then I went back to being innocent again. Then I finished the book, and in the epilogue of the book, screams innocent. But, there's a big but. But then, I started thinking about everything. And then I said, nope, guilty. Totally guilty. No, it's not a spoiler, Des. I thought, guilty. He's got to be guilty. So I'm left right now with, I don't know. I just don't know if he's guilty or innocent. What I do know, he does not belong in jail. That I do know. Yeah, but there was water in the tub, Zero. There was water in the tub. There were droplets in the tub. So I am seriously at a loss, which I don't know if he's guilty or innocent. The only thing that I know definitively for sure, he does not belong in jail. Even if he did it, he doesn't belong in jail. That is one thing that I am 100% concluded on. Even if, like I said, even if he did it, even if he killed her, there's no motive, but even if he killed her, I still don't think he belongs in jail. They did not prove it beyond a shadow of a doubt, and there's way too many things that leads me to believe he might be innocent. Might be. I'll say might. It's just one of those things, I just don't fucking know. So I'm hoping, my friend John said he's read this book 3 or 4 times. And he still doesn't know. So it's one of those books that you could just read again and again and again and again. So, like I said, if you're not a member on any of my channels, you can pick up the book or the audible of it. So you're in the same place as we are. Or if you are a member on any of my channels, you'll get the link for where we're listening to it. There was not a life insurance policy, actually. But here's the catch with that, Denise. There's not a life insurance policy. However, he asked her to get a life insurance policy at work. And then she said that it allows for unbiased reporting. It's true. That she had talked about the funeral and that if she died, her mom would have all these expenses. But her mom wouldn't be the one burying her. Wouldn't it be her husband? So it's almost as if like she knew ahead of time that she was going to die and it was going to be her husband's fault. It's just very weird. Once you're married, why would you say that your mom's going to have to pay for the funeral expenses? So she was going to get life insurance, but she did not. There was absolutely no life insurance at the time of her death. That's why we're going to have to go through all the court transcripts and figure it out ourselves. I agree with that, Red Rum. Red Rum, do you want a link? I meant to ask you that yesterday, but I knew you weren't feeling good. So unless she was thinking of leaving. Nah, they were only married 4 months. They were like brand new married. Brand new. Now, she said something in the book, in the epilogue, which kind of threw me off. But I'm mad that she didn't say what it was. She just said that somebody called her with some information, but never said what the information was. That pissed me off. That's what I figured. Trying to get little man to bed. All right. So she wouldn't have thought of leaving him 4 months after they were married. They were very, very, very close as a couple. They were very much in love as a couple. They were, so for those of you, she left us hanging. Were there any abusive? Not at all. Not one iota of abuse. This was the all-American perfect couple. I mean, it really was. So I took notes during the first chapter, so I'm going to kind of reiterate those notes. This happened on August 11th of 2008. Happened in Warren County, Ohio, which is pretty small. In 2008, there were 597 homicides, 16 accidental bathtub drownings, but only one of them was an adult. So you have a guy who is in see, my notes are all mixed up. But here you have a guy who 27 years old, lives in nice area, wealthy parents, nice home, meets this girl through his college roommate, is a college graduate, has a good job, meets this girl who he, thought was really cute. He's a big-time jock. She's a dental hygienist. The vibe of the two of them are very Chris Watts and Shanann Watts, in the sense that, yes, they were a lot younger, but he was a very yes dear, no dear, and she was a very headstrong, do it this way, I want this, I want that, I want this. So when you really listen to it and read it, you really feel the vibe of Chris Watts and Shanann Watts with the whole yes dear, no dear, that kind of stuff. He was very into his football. She was not really into sports, but in order to impress him, she did. She didn't really like the fact that he smoked or drank. Hey, Reagan. Didn't really like the fact that he smoked or drank, because she was a dental hygienist. They were young. They planned on having kids together. They just had his dog. No, she wasn't MLM. She was the boss in the relationship, absolutely. 150% she was the boss. So, he was just like, everyone that knew him knew that he was an all-around nice guy. Coroner said that she died, I'm skipping ahead. So 4 months after they're married, no signs of anything bad in the relationship, no signs of anything wrong in the relationship. Friends say they're happy. She did have I want to say narcolepsy seizures maybe, but she would pass out. I did, Betty. She passed out anywhere. They would be at a football game and look over, and she would be passed out because she was never formally said that she had narcolepsy. She was never diagnosed with it at all. So, she just knew that something wasn't right. Her friends said, maybe you should go to a doctor, maybe you should look into it. But it was just one of those things. She fell asleep. Doctors allegedly said she was tired. it sounds to me like she's not sure if she wanted to tell the doctor, because once the trials happened, there was no record that she ever spoke to the doctor. So one day he's watching TV downstairs. She comes in, she says, all right, honey, I'm going to take a bath. He said, all right, gives her a kiss, says, I love you more. She starts to go upstairs. When she went upstairs, Red Rum, I'm going to tell you something in a moment. Hold on. She goes upstairs, and next thing you know, he doesn't hear anything. He then realizes that something's wrong. He goes upstairs, and he finds her dead in the bathtub. He calls 911 and says, I think my wife's dead. I think she's, fell asleep in the bathtub, and now she's dead. I think she's dead, something like that. So he says the 911 operator helped and, told him what to do. He said he drained the tub. It was a couple of minutes. Now, here's the thing, though. This is what you learn later on in the book. You know how they said that it was 3 minutes, until they got there? I don't know if you guys heard that yet, but they say it was 3 minutes, but it wasn't 3 minutes. It was 7.5 or 8 minutes. And the reason why I say it's 7.5 or 8 minutes, there were actually 2 911 calls. The first one, he lost service. That was his phone. Then he called back again on the second time. That was from her phone. That's the phone call that we heard. Now, here's another thing that you don't know until the end of the book, but it's all in the book. He said when he was being interrogated by the police, this is a major, major fact that never came up during trials, any of the trials, is that she went upstairs. He said he walked on her tippy toes. This was discovered by the reporter that wrote the book. No, in all 3 of the trials, not one of them had mentioned this. Not one of them had said that she walked on her tippy toes. Walking on your tippy toes is a sign of a couple things. Well, she explains all that, Just Sunspear. That walking on your tippy toes is a sign of that disease, I forgot what it's called. Long something. That one of the TV shows detectives said that they did not have it. That they didn't have. No, not uneven legs. Red Rum, what's the disease? I forgot. Reagan, he doesn't belong in jail, though. I'm not sure if he's guilty or innocent yet. I really not. But I know he doesn't belong in jail, even if he did it. No, not Parkinson's. It's a specific disease that they talk about. And one of the TV specials that featured the case Beyond Reasonable Doubt, they said that they didn't have it. No, it's some weird name. Long QT, thank you, Caitlin. That she had long QT, and they thought that maybe that's what it was, because walking on your tippy toes is a telltale sign. But nowhere in the documents did it show, or any of the trials show, about the walking on your tippy toes. And everybody just threw it under. Everybody said, nah, I don't know what that is. He doesn't belong in jail because A, they didn't prove it beyond a reasonable doubt, and 2, they absolutely put him in jail for the wrong reasons. Bonnie, that's the other thing. There was no autopsy done because it was his decision to have her cremated. That is a red flag for me, a big red flag. If you want to know what happened to your wife, why in the fuck would you have her cremated? The only reason you would have her cremated on something like that is that you wanted to, hide evidence. There's absolutely no reason why you would have her cremated. Just, sorry, not sorry. Because the ends don't justify the means. And that goes into a whole new slew. And you guys know me by now, and you know how I think about this. Our justice system is set up to be done in a specific way, in a specific reason. As much as I know that Casey Anthony killed her child, the jury did exactly what they were supposed to do. Exactly what they were supposed to do. If there is not evidence beyond a reasonable doubt, they did Colin Spitzer, there is not evidence beyond a reasonable doubt, then you should absolutely not convict. The forensics absolutely did not make him guilty. That's wrong, Reagan. The forensics did not make him guilty at all. At all. Even Spitzer said that that the cause of death was drowning, and that she did not, Hey, Cam, that the forensics absolutely did not match it. The timeline is wrong. If you read the epilogue, the timeline is wrong. It wasn't 3 minutes. It was about 7 minutes. And, the whole toilet theory kind of doesn't work because there was drops of water in the tub. There were tub marks. They couldn't determine, whose marks they were. Or when they were there. I mean, I'm sure mine has, I did, Reagan. I did. You mean reasonable doubt or rough justice? I don't know what rough justice is. If you're talking reasonable doubt, I did. But they also missed a bunch of stuff. They didn't look at everything. And I didn't learn that. I didn't know that until today. Till I actually finished the epilogue of the book and saw everything that this reporter went through. So, most jurors convicted Ryan before the trial even began. It was so divided. If you either believe, that was another thing. Reasonable doubt. They even said it was junk science. You're right. You either believe that he looked like he was innocent because he just looked like a good guy, or he looked like a killer and you wanted to see him hang in jail. Those were your only two choices. 3 trials. 2 he was convicted on. All 3 of them had jury misconduct. All 3 of them. Not the first one, not the last one, not the second one. All 3 of them had jury misconduct. And by the time you have a 3rd trial, they got their own experts, said it was highly unlikely she drowned without being held under. There would be marks if she was held under. And I know they had their own experts. And Henry Lee is a huge, huge, huge person. But they didn't have the body. The body was gone. All they had was pictures. There's no way. You can't make that kind of determination based on a picture. There were no marks on her body other than what Spitzer and Lee had said, that there were marks on her chest or whatever. And that was from the compression of CPR, according to them. And that was from the 2 biggest forensic pathologists out there. Now, Reagan, don't get me wrong. I believed he was guilty. I did. And then today, I'm just kind of back and forth, back and forth. Been watching Murder Made Me Famous. Guess who was on it, Laura? Stephen Avery? Lee did it. Yeah, he did. Lee and Spitzer also did the, what's her name? JonBenet. They were both on opposite sides. One said the son did it, one said he didn't do it. He did not have a fair trial, and he did not have a I knew it was Stephen Avery, but murder didn't make him famous because he didn't murder anybody. So murder didn't make him famous. The media made him famous. But Spitzer used to have a show. I mean, it got to the point where many well, there you go. You think he's guilty? He's definitely not guilty. I'll debate that from now until doomsday. He's definitely not guilty. There's not even a forensic evidence proving him guilt. None. I wish the media make me famous. You want to be famous, November, and I'll make you famous. But the essay is a whole nother case. Whole nother case. Being wrong convicted for rape made him famous. That's true. Good point, Val. Very good point. Wrongly convicted for rape made him famous. Excellent point. If only money was involved. That's all right, November. And me and Red Rum will put you in our movie. Reagan, he didn't do it. There was not even fucking evidence to show that he did it. It was either planted. It was such bullshit. There were no drugs in her system. There was no alcohol in her system. Now, some of the things that the jury went on which is so stupid, but the cop, now here's the other catch to this. The cop that was involved is no longer a cop because he lied about his credentials to get on the force to begin with. Why they didn't look further into him, I don't know. But they actually there was something towards the end of the trial where he was so apt to finding the person. They were so apt to finding somebody that the coroner found somebody. I mean, ruled her death within a matter of 24 hours. When Ryan's mom died, this is where it gets really weird. When Ryan's mom died, it took 2.5 months. 2.5 months for him to make a ruling. But when it came to Ryan, he did it in 24 hours? What? How is that even possible? How do you make a ruling in 24 hours on such a big case, but on an obvious alcohol, syndrome or alcohol death, that takes you 2 months? Yeah, that's not right either. You have a twisted cop. You have a jury that's tainted. You have a prosecution that is in an election year. I mean, it's just one rabbit hole after the next. No, all three had different juries, but all three of them were tainted. It's just bad. You want to be a detective? All right. In our movie? But the main detective never looked for any other possibilities. Now, in all fairness, taking the devil's advocate side of that, they may not have looked for others because Ryan wanted her cremated immediately. That, to me, was the biggest red flag of the case. Why would you want to cremate? You want answers, but yet you have her cremated? One of the things that the third jury convicted him on, which is ludicrous, but one of the things they convicted him on was him saying, him being able to look at the photographs of her autopsy. Well, what they didn't realize is that he had already looked at it in trial 1 and trial 2. He already looked at her pictures and couldn't look at them. That jury thought that he was guilty because of that. The third jury looked at it as totally opposite. Well, he's speechless. This ain't right. It's just the judge ended up retiring, and this Ryan is up for parole in 5 years. Will he get out? Probably not. Does he belong in jail? Absolutely not. Not at all. Each one of these jurors did not base the case on the evidence at all. Because if you base it on the evidence and not emotion, that evidence is telling you that there's absolutely no case. None whatsoever. You think an autopsy would have proved he's innocent if he was innocent? Exactly. That really was a big, big red flag to me. Why did he... If he wanted to find out answers, you don't do a cremation. Absolutely, Reagan. And his reason was... Hey, Meerkat. His reason was that he wanted to... That he wanted to save her mom money by cremating. Which is kind of really a dumb statement. But... why nobody stopped it or why they didn't. Another thing was, speaking of like autopsy, before she was cremated, they had to take a certain number of pieces of her brain, and instead of taking like one or two, instead of taking like 25 like they're supposed to, they took one or two. Her family stopped talking to him. Her family stopped believing in him by the end of trial 1 or the beginning of trial 2. They want no part of him. They believe he did it. But they don't know if that was influenced by the trials or if it was influenced by the cop, the crooked cop. Lots of people do it, but a suspicious instance like this, definitely shady. Yeah, there's just so many rabbit holes to go in. He got married, and like Scott Peterson, he didn't want to be. He got married over a year later, and he didn't get married. He never got married. Oh, I see what you say. He didn't have to get married. See, Reagan, I don't believe that at all. Why did they have to. I forgot the medical reasoning, but it's anytime there's an autopsy, they do. Anytime someone dies, they have to. They preserve it or something. I don't know. They explain it in there. In Indiana, coroner always does an autopsy if a deceased is under a certain age. My brother was 62 when he died, and they did his. If a crime is under investigation, the spouse I think they can. They did. He did. Ryan and Sarah bought a house together before they were married. If he killed her, there has to be a motive. Well, allegedly the motive came out after the trial. After he was convicted, allegedly there was a motive. Something to do with that he cheated on her or porn. But nobody knew that in all 3 trials, which is why he does not belong in jail. Because trust me, if it was you in jail, you would feel a different way. If you were wrongly convicted, they say 1 in 8 people are wrongly convicted in the state of Ohio. 1 in 8. That's pretty high. Was it a party? No, it was not a party. It is a lot. So the way I'm going to work this, the way I'm going to break this down, each one of these characters in the book all have stories to tell. Like every single one of them. It's weird. So the way I'm going to do it, after you guys listen to all of it, then I'm going to break it down chapter by chapter, piece by piece. Red Rum's been uploading a whole bunch of stuff and documents and all that stuff. And once you guys hear the entire thing, the entire book, and we're all on the same page, a lot of the questions that you guys have are all going to be answered. No, it wasn't proven that he cheated on her at all. The book is submerged. Half what? Oh, I wouldn't drown my other half. It's very, very skeptical. But Tinker, you're still a member on my other channel, right? My friend's son is in jail serving a 4-year sentence in Ohio. He's innocent 100%. Ohio don't play. No, they don't. The book is called Submerged. Yeah, we're all listening to the Audible version. Members only and Patreons only. Depends on if the crime lab releases the body of the family. I guess they did. Maybe that's what it was. Maybe they released the body really quickly. To find the operator told him to drain the water. You think you would do that automatically? No, they didn't. He didn't tell him to drain the water. He told him to get her out. You know, and then you have the 911 operator who, you have the 911 operator that, ended up, you know, falling asleep, or they thought he fell asleep and he gave him wrong direction. It's so weird. Like, every single character in here has some twisted thing with it. She didn't drown. He didn't have to leave marks on to hold her down. She was tiny. Yeah, but if she all right. So let's go one step further, Reagan. If he held her down, where's the struggle? Where's the water? Now, you could say the water, he cleaned it up. Okay, where are the towels? There were no towels. They found no wet towels anywhere. No towels in a dryer, nowhere. So how did that happen? If he held her down when she died, she would have a handprint on her. There would be some kind of mark showing that he held her down. Any kind of pressure point when you die comes up. It turns into a bruise. That's why people can't get away with murder anymore. Because, you know, they finally realize that. Someone strangles you, those strangle marks show up when you're dead. Somebody uses a pillow. They find that out when you're dead. None of that happened. See, that was the other thing, Betty. That was something that I thought of too. Is it possible she had a seizure, but she was still breathing? And then he held her nostrils and killed her. Or that's when he held her underwater because he didn't need to use pressure because she was already passed out. That was my other thought. Because that was the only other thing I could think of. Is that she really did have a seizure, or she really did have something wrong. And then he just, you know, no towels. He did not drug her. There were no drugs in her system. If he's on top of her, he would leave that mark. I mean, just body weight. No, any kind of mark. If he held her down, there would be a mark on her body. Whether it be her head, her everything. I mean, that's just what happens. Jen, we are. If she was passed out and he held her, wouldn't she wake up thrashing? Yeah, but he could have cleaned it up. He could have cleaned it up. I mean, we don't know. But at the same time, there were no wet towels found. If he lifted her legs high, she couldn't have grabbed the side of the bath as the top half would be underneath the water. Doesn't the blood usually pool on the side of the body? It was laying, so there had to be marks if she was dead. See, that's the other thing. Now, he gave an intricate story of how it happened. But according to him, she was laying in the tub. okay? He allegedly lifted her out, or somewhat out. I don't know anything about a female DNA under her fingernails. Pulled her out, but her head was facing the bathtub, not the opposite way. He pled not guilty. He still swears he's innocent. That would show up in an autopsy. Everything would show up in an autopsy. And there was nothing. Like, they did the initial autopsy, I mean, originally when they had the body, but then once the first trial happened, they released her. But there was nobody to go back in and do other stuff because they had released her. Her nails and toes were in perfect condition, correct. He would still have to hold her down. That would show up. No seizure. But she could have passed out. It could have been anything. We don't know. Maybe she was sleeping. Like, she was legit sleeping. Yes. Jen, we have. They found female DNA on the nail. Unexplained and weird if she had been bathing for a while. Where did you hear that, though? I haven't heard that. I haven't heard that at all, Moonpatch. Oh, Jen, it's even crazier than you think. So what I'm going to do is tonight, I wish I could find the Dateline episode, but there's 15 different parts. It's a nightmare. I don't even know why they do it like that. But like, I use Kodi, and even in Kodi, you can't, Diane Hallam went through it and all. Yeah, I haven't heard that yet. I haven't seen that. Autopsy says seizure, sounding like she drowned. True, but he could have put something in her nose. It's just, I mean, anything. It could be anything. What I do know is he doesn't belong where he is. That I can tell you. That makes sense if you have narcolepsy and a bath so relaxing. Yeah, you can't find it. It's a fucking nightmare. There's like a million different pieces to it. There is no motive. Well, all right, let me rephrase that. According to what they say, the trial is not online. According to what they say, is that he cheated on her, and she found out and said they were leaving, and that there was child pornography. And I keep saying child. There was pornography, and she didn't like pornography, and she freaked out, said, I'm leaving him. But now the author of the book said something that's very true, and that is, first of all, if you're going to tell your husband you're leaving them, are you going to go take a bath first? No. You're not going to go all of a sudden, all right, I'm going to go take a bath. I'm leaving you, but I'm going to go take a bath. Yeah, no. Stacia, that's how I felt. My whole thing is that she died outside the house. And he brought her back and set this whole thing up to make it look like she drowned. But both people say that she drowned, that all the forensic pathologists said that she drowned. That was the cause of death, was drowning. So my feeling was, Lady D, I don't know that yet. my feeling was, yeah, they had to have been, because they both ruled it that is the cause of death was drowning. But, I was thinking, like, did he kill her in a pool? I mean, it was August. Did he kill her in a pool? Did he, if she definitely drowned, all right, it is summertime, so maybe he killed her in a lake or something, or he killed her somewhere else, and then brought her to the house and set up this bathtub thing. Because the other catch is, he said he was watching the Bengals game downstairs. The police said there was a different show on downstairs. The Bengals game was upstairs. So, like, that's another thing. Why would you lie about what you were watching downstairs if you were actually watching it in the bedroom? Because in the epilogue, there's just so many things that make sense. And I can see why people think he's innocent, and I can also see why people think he's guilty. There are some red flags to me that scream guilt. But at the same time, putting myself in that position, putting myself into the head frame of, oh my God, somebody's dead. Oh my God, my wife is dead. Am I going to think clearly? Am I going to be able to say anything every single phone call that I make? Yes, Jen. You know what I'm saying? Like, am I going to be able to remember everything that I say? Am I going to remember, or am I going to be frantic? And you have to remember something too. When you are a suspect, I'll say, I'm not going to say a criminal. I'm going to say, hey, sweet crazy, if you're a suspect, every single thing you say and do will and can be used against you. So when you have, the investigators definitely missed a lot, and they messed up for sure. But when you have a case where you just walked in and someone you love is dead, you have to make sure you watch what you're going to say. Because that 911 call is going to be picked apart, spun around, and spit right back at you. Knowing what I know now, and knowing the law, and if I was in that situation, I don't know what the fuck I'd do. I'd probably sound guilty as hell. And one of the things that they said about him, and I thought about myself, is that you had to know him to understand the way he spoke. For example, use me for example. If you don't know me, you could think I'm the biggest fucking bitch out there. You could think I am the scariest fucking, I curse too much. If you don't understand Laura-isms, you're going to have no fucking clue. Imagine hearing me on a 911 call in a frantic state. People are going to look at me like, is this bitch fucking kidding me? This bitch is guilty as sin. When you just have to know me. And then those that know me are going to be like, yeah, she wasn't a great communicator, but yeah, that's her frantic. Like, that's how she acts. That's who she is. Well, it seems that's how Ryan was too. It seems that Ryan was the same way, that he didn't communicate very well, and you had to really understand how he spoke to understand him. So it just really, it really hit home. I was like, you know what? If, God forbid, I was ever in that position, would I say the right things? Would I not say the right things? You might screw up what you say once, but that's what I'm saying. I would not be good on the stand because people would not know how to read me. They partly convicted him because of the way he acted on the stand. But if you think about it, think about me on a stand. I'm not good on a stand. I'll be very emotional. I won't say things right. I'm not gonna say what I mean. It's like not good. So I get where that's coming from, and I understand why he wouldn't go on the stand. He shouldn't have gone on the stand. But at the same time, you never know what a jury's going to do. You just don't. So I'm going to have one more smoke, and then we're going to shoot over to Twitch. I'll FedEx myself to your place after Laura's. You just don't know. You don't. So, like I said, I'm going to smoke a cigarette, and then we're going to shoot over. I'm going to play. Let me see. I doubt I'm going to be able to find. This happened on August 11th of 2008. If I could find the Dateline episode, I will definitely play it. It shows a man who was arrested and tried 3 times for the death of his wife of 4 months talks about the case, but yet you can't find it. What does it say agree? Okay. What the hell? That didn't work. Video is no longer available. That's why you can't find it anywhere. For some reason, Dateline pulled it. And I don't know why. Why they pulled it, I don't know. But they pulled it. Which is really weird. Can't find it on NBC anywhere. That's kind of weird. It gives you the it gives you the transcript of it, but it won't give you the actual video. I don't know why. I did a docu on suburban tragedy. Well, I knew about the case a long time ago, but Red Rummer brought it to me again. That's how I found it again. Yeah, Dateline has it broken up into like 8 different episodes. It's so weird. Didn't Ryan have a second autopsy done before she was cremated? I don't remember. Yeah, I don't know why it disappeared. Why Dateline took it off. Because I was even looking on Cody and it just disappeared. It's so weird. I don't know if they removed it because they looked at him as innocent and then he was found guilty, so they removed it. I don't know. But I'm going to shut down. I'm going to head over to Twitch. I'm going to start that in about 10 minutes. I'm going to start that in about 10 minutes and then we can watch Dateline and then watch some audio. But I have to, I got to finish painting while you guys listen to the audio. So the link will be a members only, over on it'll be on all 3 of the channels under members only. All right. So you guys see the link. I'll see you guys there.